one day he was like, "Yo, I'm taking a vacation, like here or at some point I can't remember. I think it was like 2 weeks or a month out." And I was like, "Dude, I'll take a vacation," and because he's 9 hours away from me, and I was like, "Dude, I'll drive, out there and stuff like that." And he was like, "Oh, word." And then all of a sudden, I noticed that Gibbs lives out in Texas, but he lived about 4 hours away from Blake. And I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in Texas, man." And he was like, "Yo, when are you gonna be there?" And I told him and everything like that. And like we all started getting super hyped about it, like because a lot of people like they say they want to meet up and it just falls out. Well,
Yep.
this didn't. That we made sure of it. It was not gonna. Nothing was gonna happen. Nothing was gonna change.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mercy Lens episodic series, and it's probably crazy right now thinking that we're back. I really don't know how to cut to it other than we're back, and I just looked back and saw that our last episode was recorded in September, so it's been, a few months, but we have some excellent guests lined up and ready to create even more episodes than before. This is episode 9 of the Mercy Lens podcast, and we got plenty of great content in store for all of you, including today's special guest. I have with me MPN Krampus. Him and I have gotten pretty close as friends, I'd say, here recently, although he's been in our community for quite some time, and he's jumped around into different games that we play, different divisions and stuff like that here in our community. Right now, he is the current colonel of the IL division, which is our Immortal Legends division, which shares Destiny 2 and Halo players all alike. And, we just got done finalizing a squad expansion for our Destiny 2 player base, and he was a major part in making all of that happen, and I'm very happy to have him on the show today. So, Krampus, let's just start it off, man. I always start these episodes, although, like I was telling you before we started recording, it's been a while, so I got to get worked into my transitions and get comfortable doing all of that stuff again. But let's just, start from the beginning with me and kind of tell our audience, tell us a little bit about yourself, but then what made you start being a gamer? What made you fall in love with gaming and get you to where you're at today? Now you live stream and you do a bunch of totally cool things, which we'll talk about. But what made you fall in love with gaming? And again, tell our audience, maybe give us a quick little introduction.
Well, I'm actually originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Moved here when I turned 14 to Nashville, Tennessee. My very first game that I ever actually played was on the PS1 called Medieval. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. I mean, I was only probably like 10, 11 years old at the time. And then I quit playing games, whatever. I didn't have the strive for it up until Call of Duty World War came out. And that was my first online game. Toxic, man. Did not want to play it anymore. I was like, wow, these lobbies are crazy. And my name on Xbox came from a band called Lorna Shore, and my name was Lorna. That was it. Like everybody just knew me as Lorna. Well, when Advanced Warfare came out, somebody was like, "Hey, man, you keep talking about Krampus all the time." Like when Krampus became a thing in Germany and stuff like that, I kept looking into it. And he was like, "Well, you're kind of a dick, so like your name should be Krampus." So I was like, after the day I thought about it, and I changed it when the 360 was still a thing, and my name was forever Krampus after that.
That's
So
awesome.
like, uh, I was straight FPS games, and that was it. Like, I didn't like story game modes. I was all about like being better than the next person. Like, I used to play Call of Duty tournaments back in the day. We used to have this little gaming community. It wasn't really a clan. It was just this little community. We had little subs here and there, and we were making some serious money on it. And then I got married and had a kid, and had to kind of put it down. So I mean, that's where it all started from.
Well, that's awesome. You kind of answered my question I was going to just shoot from the hip with was how you got Krampus as your name. And it sounds like you just kind of followed that story. And I think you've told me before, but I guess Can you tell everybody what made you start following Krampus more? What made you want to change?
Man, dude, honestly, I loved it. Like, I like the culture of Krampus. I've seen the movies. I've seen, the Krampus episode, and actually, American Dad Krampus was like kind of like what I went from, like to that, like how he was and stuff like that. I feel like we shared the kind of that same spiritual
Yep.
stuff with, and man, I just stuck with it. Like, I've rocked Krampus for a long time, and everybody. Well, it used to be Krampus or Crampy. Like it was even crampy in MPN when I first started.
Yeah, I remember
So,
that.
and then instead of people calling me Krampus, they just call me Cramp. Crampy or whatever they want to call it. Some people call me Cramp Lamp. So, but Krampus is the one that all honestly always stuck, and I love the name. It fit perfectly. It just flows.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it a lot too. Now, I honestly I don't think I knew that you were a Call of Duty player because you joined MPN for Apex, right?
Yes, sir.
And which
I
squad did you start out in?
I started in Dynasty.
Oh, well, duh. And then you just stuck with that, huh?
Yeah, I love Dynasty. I love the atmosphere. Actually, the person that got me in was MPN Gibbs.
Oh, awesome. And that kind of like transitions into my first actual question is what was it like when you first joined MPN? You remembered that Gibbs
Oh yeah,
recruited you, so hopefully you can remember back that far. But just kind of tell everybody, let us know what was it like for somebody that's now running an entire division in our community. What was it like for day one, Krampus joining MPN?
man. I didn't have Discord. That was the first off. So Gibbs actually walked me through everything to get it and have it and everything like that. And he said do all these steps, and I was like, okay, like I'm just trying to struggle. Like I remember I didn't want to join a gaming community because I've been in like three of them. They were horrible. It was nutty. So whenever I first joined MPN, immediately this guy that is still in MPN in Genesis Squad, MPN Absalon Lord was the one that said that had the welcoming message, made me feel like at home. He was actually the one that was like, "Hey man, are you playing right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, get in the game." And after that, man, it was game over. For like, it was just like the friendliness and everything about it, man. I mean, the community is just great.
Yeah, that's super cool. And it's kind of funny that Gibbs, of all people, we kind of joke about, he's like my dad's age, had to show you how to make a Discord account. That's pretty cool, too.
I've
Uh,
never even heard of it.
that's awesome. Yeah, and I think now Discord is on PlayStation, if I heard right. I haven't actually done any sort of research on that, but I was told that Discord has been integrated into PlayStation too. So hopefully, I think a lot more people know about Discord nowadays than probably when you joined, and definitely when I created the server, I knew nothing about it. So hopefully, we that transition has become smoother for most joining MPN and joining our Discord server for sure. Um, so now let's break it down into a little bit more detail because you said that you were in Dynasty Squad, and I said, duh. Well, then I thought immediately as I said that, a lot of people probably don't know your story and why I said that because, let's fast forward now. You've worked your way up through the ranks, and at one point, Dynasty Squad was an Apex Legends squad. It no longer is. It's Destiny 2. And you were like the catalyst of making that happen to get that, through the process, if you will, to make that transition. And it was a really big risk for everybody involved, not just me, obviously, or MPN, but like, you had built a reputation at this point, right? And that was on the line, and you got a great team together and ended up, making that into what it was today. So let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us your story in MPN. So you're playing with members at this point, kind of working your way up through the ranks. Dynasty Squad is still Apex Legends. Talk us through like how you started that transition into leading Apex Legends into the Dynasty transition to Destiny, and just kind of take us to from that point all the way up to where you are today.
Let's just say I couldn't eat or sleep because of this. All right, so obviously when Dynasty had a squad split, they had another division which is IL, but they were not Apex anymore. So they switched me over to Genesis squad, and I didn't feel right at it. I mean, I liked everybody that was in it. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't feel like home anymore. And so I became inactive for a long time. Like I didn't really say nothing, but I still never got booted out because they knew who I was, and I kind of like would say small things to like Gibbs and Edgyberry. And all of a sudden, I went to Texas to meet an MPN member called MPN Plague, and Gibbs actually popped up there too. Like I got to meet both of them, really cool dudes. And he actually got me back while I was in Texas to Dynasty.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and after that, I started, working my way up from there. Like I really got more involved. Right when I got back home, I was helping Barry set up meetings and doing all this other stuff, helping her with notes as best I could. It really, and then all of a sudden, me and Morph were kind of having this little side project too, because everybody was playing Destiny at this point. I was just like, man, like, how cool would it be to, have Destiny? And Morph was like, dude, I'm all about it. But good luck asking Evo. And that was when they were like, he hates the game and stuff like that. But obviously now it's not that way anymore. But, I remember asking in the open forums, and you pretty much shut it down pretty quick. So then we stopped. Still, I was like, I'm not gonna stop. Like, and Morph wasn't gonna stop. So he finally convinced you that if we did these certain things, that you were gonna make it happen. And then we came up to putting people into Apex, and then we transferred over to IL as the only squad in the IL division. And then everybody that was Apex in Dynasty went over to FS side. So we were down to 13 members,
Yeah.
and we had a real, that was when I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. I was just breathing, recruiting, getting members involved, doing all this stuff. There was only 3 people active at the time. That was me and 2 officers, and that was it. And so me and Plague literally done nothing but getting the activity up and stuff like that, and it was really working. And then once we started, people started seeing this. We had mass transfers that came to Dynasty from different squads, majors, captains, LTs, all kinds of people. And we had the 2 right people that joined Dynasty. And those 2 people, I give it up for MPN Hope, Vampire Hope, and MPN Hobbs. They literally struck a nerve in the dynasty of recruiting people and getting more people. Some of those people that they recruited are now officers.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, man, Grizzy out of the woodworks, man, just made that squad pop even more. And you started getting more involved into it and the Destiny and stuff like that. We started hanging out, we started playing, and then all of a sudden, man, here we are, squad splitted. They're racking the numbers pretty quickly too. So I mean, it literally makes me feel so much better that I was a part of it, and that everybody's still enjoying everybody's company. IL is super chill. I love being in IL.
Yeah. Now it's like you're prying me away from the game for an hour just to do a podcast, and that's all I'm thinking about is Destiny stuff. But no, a little bit of the backstory just to let everybody know and what this process was like. Like Krampus said, I was very adamant on not having a Destiny squad again, and the reason why was because we had tried Destiny a couple of different times back before the game was cross-platform, and it never worked out. And I don't know if that was lack of players or lack of the people that we had kind of running that at the time. It might have been a combination of both, I guess. But either way, it just didn't work. It wasn't a good fit for what MPN was and what we were trying to accomplish. And then the player base that did join, it just never really meshed well. So I kind of saw that, and really, in all honesty, and I might get some flack for this, is like I kind of threw it in the same bin as Fortnite, right? Like the game's fine. I don't have any issue with the game, but just for what we're trying to build here in MPN, it doesn't fit. and Fortnite is definitely one of those games that I've now thrown in that bin of, again, fun game. I've played it. Don't hate the game. Just not right for what we're trying to do. And for quite a long time, Destiny was in that. And so anytime that idea was brought up, I wouldn't say I instantly shot it down, but I did not consider it for very long, until we were I think we were in a board meeting, I don't remember, and we were kind of talking about it again, and they're like, just hear me out. And it was probably Morph, now that I know he's the one that brainwashed you into wanting to do it. Yeah. um they said, like, just hear us out, this is what we want to do, this is how we're going to make it happen. And fast forward into what really sold me on it was I knew that a lot of Destiny players also play Halo or enjoy Halo, and I wanted to open a Halo division, but there was so much unknown with that game, because they hadn't made a Halo in how many years, that I didn't know if it could withstand its own division by itself. And I had that same feeling about Destiny, right? Like, can it have its own division for what we set in MPN as a standard of our divisions? And it was just a lot of up in the air, but I figured, if we combine the two together, there's no way it doesn't work, right? And so when that game, Halo actually got delayed, which made it harder. But when it was, finally released, we already had a solid Destiny base kind of under the wing. And like you said, with the players transferring in, and, we're getting a good leadership group. And then the Halo thing happened. And now fast forward to where Destiny is larger than our Halo player base in the community. It's very cool to see. And really, what brought me into, where we're at today now, where it's one of the main games that I play, is just the camaraderie that we have here in the community, with our players, and how when I started playing it, people, took my questions seriously, I guess you could say. And, it wasn't like a big joke. It was we're trying to make you better at the game. And so ask any questions, ask for help. And they've always been there to make that happen for me. And when I started, seeing that and seeing what you guys were doing in the game, to help newer players that struggled with it. Like, for me, the only thing up until that point, and unless you've played the game, you probably wouldn't understand, is like, all I did was the campaign, the story. And I would buy the expansions just to play the storyline, and that was it. And then I'd put the game down, never play it until the next expansion. I never did the multiplayer. I never did, any of the raids, the nightfalls, you name it. We can break all that down. And I just never did it. So I never knew that, like, 3/4 of the actual game existed. I only played the one small portion of it. So once I figured all of that out, and I had people like you and like Grizzy, and there's a ton of people that, I probably should name, and I'll forget some and don't want to make everybody upset, but you guys know who you are, that really stepped up and helped me get started in that game. And it was just a complete, like, eye-opening experience for me. Like, these people are doing something really, really cool within our community, and they're gonna be something bigger than I thought. And hey, if I'm gonna be proven wrong, that's one way I want to be proven wrong, is by seeing the results of it right in front of me, because it's a very humbling experience knowing that we have so many talented individuals in our community, that care so much about MPN and what it can provide. And Destiny has definitely been kind of this trending wave of bringing players in, and obviously with the expansion coming, this last week, even more people now are joining than ever for Destiny. It's just really, really cool to see. So before we're gonna take a quick break here, but before we do, tell us your thoughts, because I don't really have this written down for our notes. But what do you like most about the new expansion? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, the fact that they have legendary campaign. like you can light up quick.
Yeah.
And like if and I like it because it's bringing a lot more people into it right now, because like they've done, it's basically like the Taken King from Destiny 1. Like that was the hugest DLC on Destiny 1, so they're kind of like in doing that on Destiny 2, and it's kind of like almost the ending of it, and it still doesn't end. They're not making Destiny 3. They're keeping it Destiny 2. They're going to just keep updating it like they were supposed to on Destiny 1. Destiny 2 wasn't actually supposed to be a game, but they did it anyways. But they wanted to change it. When the game first came out, like, dude, it was garbage. We all know it. It was. But like me and you play PvP, and man, I have one of the funnest times playing PvP with you. And it's just crazy of how many people help out in IL for this as well.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible, like of what they do. Like we have an academy that helps you with raids, that helps you with PvP, that just everything in the game, man, is just it's more upbringing now, instead of like like kind of like toxic like Call of Duty or Apex. Like if you're not that good of a player on Apex, they don't want to play with you. But on Destiny, it's more of like a helping hand all
Yeah.
the time. But
Yeah.
yeah, this expansion, man, is just incredible. Like they've done so much with this expansion. It's huge.
Yeah, it certainly, like I say, it's as a campaign only player up until this one, it's definitely the best storyline I think that I've played. And also what was really cool about it was that they were expecting the most players ever to log into the game for that expansion on the release day, and they were kind of hinting towards maybe some server issues, stuff like that. But I got on like I think 3 hours after the expansion launched, and I have never had an issue with it. Like, I have no complaints, other than my game has crashed a couple of times, but I'm pretty sure that was my own system error. The game has worked perfectly for me, and you just don't see that with a lot of games anymore. And it's a pet peeve of mine that you can find rants on my streams of me going off about spending a lot of money on half-done games, but Destiny, I think, really, really did a good job with this one. And we'll talk more Destiny, too,
Yeah.
because I don't want to get too far off track. But it's definitely something worth talking about because it's playing such a big role in our community, right? Like the things that we're doing here in MPN for Destiny and on Destiny is truly, truly incredible. Really cool to see.
Yeah.
So with all of that said, man, let's take a quick break. We don't have any sponsors for today's episode, so if you're out there watching and you want to sponsor the Mercy Lens, you know where to find me. Otherwise, we do have a cool announcement we want to make, so we'll go ahead and roll to that, and then when we come back, we'll kind of wrap up some of our MPN talks and see what's ahead in the future for Krampus and MPN. So we'll be back in just a minute. Hey everybody, what's going on? MPN Evolution here, and you already know where I'm at, the MPN headquarters. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic winter so far, and I got to tell you, there's only one thing I've been thinking about since we started getting snow up here in the north, and that is time to announce the MPN first ever MPN meet and greet experience taking place in Orlando, Florida later this year. We are looking forward to getting to meet as many MPN members in one place as possible. That you've heard it right. September 23rd, we are meeting in Orlando, Florida, and it's going to be a fun time. It's a Friday night. And we have a whole weekend's worth of plans, which I'll get to in just a moment. But the main thing, I wanted to make this video and just kind of describe and let you guys know a little bit kind of where our minds are at. September 23rd, we are going to have a venue picked out exclusively for MPN members that RSVP using our website, and I'll include the link down below. You can do it at mpnlivenet.net/RSVP. Let us know if you're seriously interested in going and if you'll be able to. And what we'll be doing is flying down to Florida for a weekend. It's going to be a family-friendly event, so feel free to bring your loved ones, children, whoever you have that you'd like to bring with, and we're going to have a good time. We'll celebrate all Friday night long in this venue, yet to be determined, just depending on the amount of people that RSVP. And also, there's one other special situation that I kind of wanted to explain to everybody as well, something a little bit more personal, is that I will be celebrating my marriage down in Orlando as well that weekend on the 24th, that following Saturday. I will be celebrating my marriage with my fiance Amy. So everybody that comes down for the MPN meet and greet will be invited to attend that as well if you want. That's totally optional, but again, it's something to kind of give you guys something to do while you're down there, give you a full weekend experience of MPN related stuff if you choose to do so. Friday night though will be the main MPN meet and greet experience. We're setting up some really cool things, something that we're still working on and we'll definitely have finalized before September. But just wanted to give everybody as much notice as possible. Morphus, who's the one that's been helping me, he kind of says it best. If you save $2 a day per person from now until our trip in September, you'll be able to pay for a round trip flight and 3 nights in a hotel. So that'll pay for your entire weekend if you just started saving $2 per day today. So don't miss out. This is going to be an awesome experience. We want to meet as many of you guys as possible. Make sure to head over to mpnlive.net/RSVP to let us know that you will be there September 23rd, 2022, Orlando, Florida. And we'll keep you guys updated with everything as the dates approach and get closer. But again, we want to just make sure to give you guys as much time as possible so that way you can start saving and have a good time with us down there in September. All right, welcome back to the Mercy Lens episodic series, episode 9. We got MPN Krampus here with us chatting about some MPN stuff. We've talked about Destiny to an extent, and I'm excited to keep the episode going. I'm so happy that we're back too. It's been way too long. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, September was the last one. And so this one's long overdue, and we're definitely going to stay consistent with these episodes and getting people on here and just talking about their experience in MPN and just kind of what it's all meant to them. And so now that we're back, I just want to transition into outside of the obvious gaming aspect of MPN, right? We're a gaming community, so we obviously all play video games, but we do offer a lot more than just playing video games. We have our social Discord server, which allows us to talk freely about a variety of different topics. I know like anime and automobile talk and sports and stuff like that all happens in there, and it's pretty popular. But we also have our graphics and production teams. We have our content that we release, esports, and then most notably for you, Krampus, because you just joined our training department there with our MPN University. So I'm assuming that's probably the one you're going to pick for what you enjoy most, just knowing your ideas and things that you're going to be working on in our training department. But what do you enjoy, about MPN other than the gaming?
Man, honestly, man, the stream team is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Like the support that people get, people helping each other, getting affiliated. A lot of people are doing a lot of shout outs. I enjoy the stream team. Like Demi and Brown and Dents have really put on an amazing team together. And me being on the stream team lead with them as well. Like it's really helped out a lot. They are actually the main reason why I even became affiliated. And they don't even have to sub. Like I don't even like mention like anybody subbing or anything like that. But they just go in there and they just sub the crap out of my channel and stuff like that. Hyping it up. Bimmy, man, he is by far one of the biggest hype people for the stream team, as in like, posting things on Twitter, hyping people up in the stream team and stuff like that. And one of my biggest focuses right now, as in outside of like gaming, was the training department. Like I have a lot of great ideas that's going to be coming towards the training department. Going to be in the works of making YouTube videos of people that want to play either guitar, play drums, bass, lead, rhythm, and also vocals. I done metal vocals for 15 years. I've done both guitar parts like lead and rhythm and stuff like that, like sweeps, finger tapping and stuff like that for about 13 years. Bass I've been playing for about 10. I even play the banjo. I'm in the works of playing the piano. All around, like, music has been like my main thing, like, outside of gaming is and that's what I want to bring to MPN, because we know guitar lessons are super pricey. Like, they can charge you from 112 to $200 an hour, and I want to bring that to MPN, because MPN's my, my family. I don't charge family, so that's why I want to bring it to the table.
Yeah. And I know you and I have talked about that a lot, and that's what makes me so excited to see you join that training department and offer those kind of things. Is like, for me, I'm not I don't know how to play instruments or never was musically gifted, but I am a big believer in music and gaming just go hand in hand. The creativity behind all of it, right? If you're making a video game, the only thing that, not the only thing, but a big part of making a video game great is the music and the way that it makes you feel while you're playing it. Whether it's, to get you hyped up or, just to switch up your emotions, music does all of that for you. Or if you're somebody like me who used to compete on video games, you listen to music before you compete to get pumped up, to get ready. It's just a part of all of our lives, and it goes beyond gaming too, obviously, right? Music does, but like, I do believe that they definitely kind of just make sense to be together. And hearing all of your ideas that you're going to be bringing to the training department for our members is something that I personally am super excited for, and I think that everybody else should be too, because like you said, these are things you have to pay for anywhere else, and it adds to why our community is just so incredibly unique and always adapting and listening to what people request and what they want, and then also listening to those that come to us and say that they can provide that kind of thing too, which is the situation that you're in. And we hear about your experiences, like you said, 15 plus years of making music and being a part of it, and knowing that you could bring that expertise to our members and our community, is just something I'm very grateful for. And I'm sure a lot of other people are about to be when they kind of learn more about that as those announcements start to come out here pretty soon. So I'm really excited for that. We were talking a little bit too before we started recording. Like, I'm wanting to get into, getting maybe an electric drum set. Is that what you would call it, or a kit?
No, yeah, it's an electric drum set.
Yeah, so like, just to be able to bang on it a little bit, not make the wife upset, and keep the kid up at night when I'm sitting there acting like I'm a rock star. But definitely just something to learn. It's something new. I feel like we as humans should be learning every single day, and that's just something I've never learned how to do, was play an instrument. Just never had the opportunity to. And if I can do that now and be involved, and then I have a good mentor like you who may not know it yet, but I'm going to be bugging the crap out of to learn more about, it's just something that, I want to be a part of and I want to learn. And hey, when you have an opportunity like this, you got to take advantage of it. So definitely excited for all of that. So one thing that the next thing I want to talk about, and there is something I want to mention earlier, I want to kind of dig into a little bit more, so I'll tie it in with this, is my next question I typically ask everybody is, what have you taken from being a member of MPN? What have you learned, whether it's personal or professional, that you've learned in our community and with MPN that you've been able to do and utilize, outside of our community? But I kind of want to take this opportunity too, and if you have an answer for that, please make sure to answer it. But you mentioned that you met up with, who was it, Gibbs and Plague? Were those the two that you met up with? That's something that's really cool. That's something even for me, who's been a part of this now for almost 12 years, I've only met one person other than my personal friends that have been a part of MPN, one person that I actually drove and met up with in 12 years. And I know that that's going to change this year. But like, what was that like? I think that's so cool that, and especially the reason why I wanted to dig into it more, because I do remember seeing something about you guys meeting up, but it was the guy that recruited you into MPN as well that you got to meet. So like, what was that like? And kind of tell us more about that, because that to me is just really, really cool.
Man, honestly, dude, Plague and I actually played with Plague before he actually joined MPN, and dude, me and him like me and him became brothers. Like like it was just a bromance type deal. Like we were always like staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning, playing, drinking alcohol, playing Apex, just having a good old time. Like we vibed really well, and then one day, he was like, "Yo, I'm taking a vacation." Like here in or at some point, I can't remember. I think it was like 2 weeks or a month out, and I was like, dude, I'll take a vacation, and because he's 9 hours away from me, and I was like, dude, I'll drive, out there and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, word. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that Gibbs lives out in Texas, but he lived about 4 hours away from Blake. And I was like, hey, yo, I'm gonna be in Texas, man. And he was like, yo, when are you gonna be there? And I told him and everything like that. And like we all started getting super hyped about it, like because a lot of people, like, they say they want to meet up and they it just falls out. Well,
Yep.
this didn't. That we made sure of it. It was not gonna nothing was gonna happen. Nothing was gonna change. So I drove out there, man, and hung out with Plague till about I want to say it was about till Monday through Friday, and that Thursday night Gibbs came out there, or Thursday morning Gibbs came out there, and man, dude, that dude is so humble, man. It was so cool to meet. We stayed up till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just chill. We didn't play games, man. We didn't have to, like
Yeah.
you're with your MPN people that you play games with, anyways. So we hung out there. He got to see like my PC, got to see Plague's PC, just like, oh, like you don't know what people have to, like you guys meet them and stuff like that, man. But Plague, me and him are going to be bros to the day we die. Same with Gibbs. He's super cool dude to meet. But yeah, dude, by far one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, like meeting people that I play games with on a daily basis.
Yeah, that is cool. And I'm a little bit jealous of it too. I know I've talked to Gibbs, and I was kind of mentioning that I have interests in Texas and visiting, and I just didn't really know where to start as far as vacationing goes. And he's like, man, if you ever come down, let me know. Like, we're gonna go fishing and stuff like that. So he owes me a fishing trip. Um, but yeah, I've heard a lot of cool things about him, and knowing that you got to meet him too, I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous.
Well, there's actually another person I met over Sunday that actually came to my house.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was just telling me about that last night. Tell us about
Yeah.
that too.
All right, so he told me that he's going to be driving through my state, MPNG Slayer.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, I'll be home, whatever. And, it was him and his wife. And he was like, told me, he was like, hey, I'm 20 minutes away. I completely forgot. Like, because it was like 7 o'clock at night. And I was like, yo, I don't even care. I don't care if I'm tired. Yo, like, come over. Like, and he came over, man. And let me tell you, dude, that dude is freaking tall. Like he's like a giant. Like he's
Really?
pretty tall. Yeah. Like his voice doesn't match his like
Uh-uh.
what because I've never seen what he looked like. And that was cool. That was super cool. So I got to meet 3 MPN members so far, and I'm super excited for this meet and greet because like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be enjoyable. Like we get to meet as an actual family. With gaming aside, like we get to actually hang out. Rather than open forums, like it's gonna be an actual open forums in Orlando. Like it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping I don't piss too many people off between now and then where they're going to show up and beat me up or something. But I think we'll have plenty of help if something like that were to happen. But in all seriousness, I'm actually really excited for it because when we first started like thinking about it, we thought maybe a few of the board people and a couple people that have been here for a while, they'll probably show up. We're over 50 people. We're over 50 rooms, and most of the rooms having, 2 to 3 people per room. So I don't know the actual count yet, but I do know it's way more than what I was anticipating, which is awesome. It's almost unbelievable, and it's very, very humbling to know that we have that many people in our community willing to travel. I've had 2 people alone from the UK tell me that they're trying to get plane tickets and have it all priced out and everything. That would fly from the UK to Florida to meet us. So that's really effing cool. And if that happens, we're gonna have to pay that back someday, where
Oh yeah.
MPN flies across the pond and goes over to the UK as well. Because dang, that's some real dedication. But man, that would be so cool if that were to happen. And you know, even if they're not able to, we're still gonna have a good time in Orlando. There's gonna be a lot of people. I can't wait. We're closing this last week. We're pretty close to finalizing a hotel. So I'll kind of share that information, I guess, since we're talking about it. Then we'll announce that to everybody with the rates. We're trying to get a pretty good discount for, again, over 50 rooms. So, we're renting out a floor in a hotel pretty easily. And yeah, just a lot of cool things in store that we're working on behind the scenes, and trying to make it a cool experience for everyone that's able to come. So really, like the last section of this, we're closing in now on 40 minutes or so, which is awesome. Is kind of what's your future goals in MPN? What do you have in mind? What's next for MPN Krampus here in our community?
Honestly, man, I didn't even think I'd make it this far. But a lot of people, message me all the time saying like, dude, like you were like I was a major, for Dynasty for almost a year. Like I really thought I built up a really good plan there as well. And like honestly, like it was hard for me to accept a higher position because I was so used to eat, breathe CMS and running meetings. It was fun. Like I enjoyed it. Like Hellfire always came in there and stuff like that. He was like, man, like you just make the best of a meeting. Like, you got people cutting up, you got people hanging out, and people hung out after the meeting, like almost the entire squad. And just because of the experience that I would want to provide for, what it was. But like as future holds, like I'm hoping one day, man, I'll be able to work by your side,
Oh yeah.
and creating a better community. I was previous court department. Um, I was for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden I got promoted. It was like anybody that joins the court department, they get promoted to a LTC or COL and stuff like that, and that's really good for people, man. I mean, I liked working with Demonic. I liked working with Hellfire a lot. But as in like, yeah, just hopefully maybe one day, like if the general position popped up anywhere, like I would definitely, try to get on board on that, and then go further from there. Just help better this community and help it keep it safe, and that's what y'all have been doing. Y'all have been awesome at it. Like nitro scams was one of the biggest things in this, and like y'all got rid of it real quick. So like I just like how like safe environment is even for young gamers. Like they don't feel threatened, like just how friendly people are and gaming with them.
Yep.
One of the youngest members was somebody I recruited, and he was 10 years old.
And that's something else. I mean, we could have a whole nother episode talking about that when you get me going on it. Is first of all, you brought nightmares back when you said the nitro scam, because that, oh my gosh, what a mess that was for all of Discord. I'm not talking just for us. I think we handled it pretty well, but all across Discord, I'm in hundreds of servers, it seems like, and when it blows up, it blows up. Let me tell you. And but the thing about for us and bringing in younger gamers in MPN and allowing them, to have a fun and a safe gaming environment to enjoy is like, us as leaders, we're always kind of molding that next generation of gamers, right? What do we want that to look like? And that's our responsibility, because we took what we had to work with back on the 360 days when we were up and coming, and we changed that for what I feel like is the better. And now, we're doing that for the next generation, and they're going to be responsible for doing it for theirs. So the sooner that we can begin spreading that message and kind of sharing our vision for what gaming communities look like, and really what gaming looks like in general, and the sportsmanship and all of that stuff that goes into it, the better off we'll be able to leave that footprint for, eventually. I'm going to be pretty dang old, and I'm not going to be as good as I am today. It's hard to believe, I know, but yeah, I'll have to eventually pass that torch. And, it's a while out yet, but it's definitely something that we think about. And it doesn't matter if you're thinking about it from, you know, just gaming in general or your position that you are in our community. You're always kind of getting somebody prepped for that next, and that's leaving a legacy, and that's what leadership is, you know. And it's really cool to hear that people have those same thoughts that I do, and it's cool to hear, you know, their side of it and their vision moving forward. So, I've been telling you this entire time off camera that I had an idea I wanted to share with you, and it was part of like. So I'll just kind of give a backstory for everybody before we go. Is like I've been wanting to get this episodic series going again, the Mercy Lens, and it's obviously been several months. I just like I didn't really know how to bring it back, right? And the longer I just waited, the more time goes by, and finally today I'm like, you know what? Krampus is going to be the guy we do it with. We're bringing it back, and he's going to kick this off again. And then like immediately it turned into I messaged you for one, and you responded, and within 15 minutes we're sitting in this channel and recording this episode. So thank you very much for that, because I was on literally no notice. And you jumped in and you made it happen. So then I had no choice. So thank you for making me have to do it.
No, thank you, man, for giving the opportunity.
But the reason why I wanted to bring you on is to share my other idea for a different video. Is what I was thinking about doing is getting all of the Destiny guys, like the main guys that have really, created the Destiny environment that we have here. And, I'm sure you have a list of names that I'm talking about. But basically doing a YouTube video kind of explaining and talking about the Destiny story of MPN, and how it all started out, and just kind of like, I think that it's a really unique story coming from like people that literally, like you said, I was shooting ideas down left and right, right? And I wasn't confident in that, and then making it into what it is today. But the basic vision that I have for this video is like to reach an audience, to let them know what we do as a community, why MPN stands out as a gaming community on Destiny exclusively, right? All of those things that you're talking about, because there is so much about the game that we could talk about for hours. And then it kind of getting this video out before the day one raid starts, and just kind of talking about what that process looks like, and the vision for MPN basically this season of Destiny, if you will, to kind of sum it up. And we can always go into more detail later, but just kind of having like a group video conversation of that and what it would look like. So I don't know. That's an idea that I had. And I think it'd be cool. We get a lot of the Destiny guys on here and just kind of talking about their experience on the game, and really just having an episodic, just one show of like what Destiny in MPN looks like. And I think that there's a lot to it. I think there's a lot that people don't know. And sometimes just kicking back and having a casual conversation, just talking about stuff like that, is the best way to reach people and to spread a message. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, dude, honestly, like you said, like you didn't really know the game that well till you started playing with us. Like people were helping you do these certain things, and like you said, like 3/4, like almost half of the game you haven't even experienced. So like for people that don't play Destiny, or is like upbringing trying to play Destiny, that would help a lot of people out and be like, oh, this game is like there's way more to it. Like
Yeah.
instead of just running through a campaign. And honestly, man, if you want to talk to a guy that knows nothing about PvE stuff, G Slayer, he's your guy. And I'm all about the PvP stuff, like builds on there. But man, G Slayer, that dude he could write a book for all of his ideas and things that goes on in the game. Like G Slayer would probably be the one.
Okay. Well, let's we can talk more about it afterwards, but let's try to make that happen. I think that'd be pretty cool. And we all just get in a Discord call like this and just talk about Destiny for an hour, for 2 hours. I don't care. I think it's worth talking about, and everything that we do here. So we can plan that out more. But if you like the idea, let's try to make that happen too. So before we go, one last question. That's it. I swear. It's one that I just love dropping at the end of every episode. And that question is like, if you could have one thing added or changed about MPN today, if like you brought it up to me right now on this episode because it is going to be posted and published and people are going to hear it. If I could just change it with a snap of a finger and say done, what would that one thing that you'd like to see added or changed be?
Yo, that's gonna be a hard one. Because the one thing that I really like about MPN is that nobody ever gives up.
Yeah.
And if I had one thing to change, man, that's a hard one, man. Because like I've already got like everything that I wanted, like as in like the Destiny side of things and stuff like that. But if I had to change one thing, I don't know. Like honestly, like I really don't. Like this gaming community has everything to offer. Like you got your training department, you got your stream team, you got a core department, you got everything like for a community. Like that's super well balanced and all integrates together. You have people that create events and helps people create events. Like what more can you get out of MPN? And that's pretty much my answer because there's really nothing I would want to add or take away.
Okay, I'll accept that. I like hearing that. It's just something fun that I like to just throw in there to get your brain thinking a little bit. And if you do think of something, you can always let me know after today's episode. But anyway, man, hey, I enjoyed it. Thank you again very, very much for jumping on here with such a short notice, like literally 15-minute notice, and you were in here and ready to make it happen. So I thank you for that very much. Like I said, we got some other people in mind to bring on to the show as well. So hopefully they watch this episode and kind of see what it looks like again, get familiar with how we break this stuff down. This episodic series is what I call it, is just about MPN related things. And you've been a catalyst, if you will. That's a Destiny pun of what that looks like here in our community. And I figured that, again, you were the perfect candidate to come on and share all of that experience, as Destiny has been like red hot for us as a gaming community, and it's been a trending topic all around our servers. So, I thought you'd be perfect to kind of wrap all that up, talk about your experiences, and just, catch up with how things are going. So I'm glad we were able to do so, man. Really, I don't think I have anything else. You want to give any special shout outs or anything to anybody?
Actually, yeah. If I had to give out a special shout out, it'd be Edgy Berry. She freaking just molds the two divisions together. She does everything, like I mean everything, and she is amazing at what she does. She's very communicative. Like you have a question, like if I had a question for her, she's like on top of it, and she's been there for me whenever I was a major. I had like my little like stressful moment, and she literally walked me through the whole thing. I would give out special shout out to Gibbs, MPN Gibbs. That dude was the reason why I even know Discord today. And he's really helped me. Player based. He's always down to play whatever game you want to play. He's always there for everybody. He's a very good person. I think that would be about it. And honestly, I have a lot more, but want to keep it short and sweet. Evo, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. Like honestly, if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't be happening. So like, thank you for keeping this gaming community alive, and y'all starting it as a joke, which I'll never forget that. So for
Yeah.
YouTube videos, and that was your story. Honestly, in the open forums meeting, I love it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. We'll be posting this on Monday, and we're getting ready to celebrate our 12-year anniversary as MPN, and it's been one that has been full of memories, and it's doing stuff like this that make it so cool, so unique, and like I've said a few times already, so humbling to know we have such great people in our community, and that's really what makes it continue to grow and continue to prosper, and for hopefully several more years as well. So cool. Appreciate it, man. We're going to wrap up today's episode. We hope to see you all next Monday for our next guest. So make sure to tune back into our YouTube channel right here on the Merciless Pros Network. YouTube channel, and maybe you're listening on Spotify and Apple, and we also upload this on our website. So wherever you're listening or watching from, we appreciate you. Hopefully, between now and Monday, when this episode gets posted, I'll remember how to do all of that. But if you're listening, I did. So there you go. There you have it. We'll see you all next Monday. Mercy Lens, we're back, baby. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye.